think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
Listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
He tried. You catch him, he want to catch you back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo recently shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford agreeing to Floyd Mayweather's challenge. According to him, if the two ever stepped into the ring, Crawford would come out on top. He explained that Crawford is currently the superior fighter and has already earned full recognition for everything he's accomplished. Canelo described him as a phenomenal talent, highlighting his sharp timing and skill set. He also pointed out that Crawford has already proven his dominance across multiple weight divisions, which is why both fans and analysts should acknowledge his place among the sport's elite.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body does not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and everything.
Garage Hackett weighed in on Canelo's remarks about Terence Crawford, drawing a comparison between Canelo's past loss to Floyd Mayweather and Crawford's later success against him. Hackett noted that when Canelo met Mayweather at just 23 years old, he was still developing as a fighter and hadn't yet gained the polish or experience he has today. On the other hand, Crawford went up against Canelo after he had already established himself as the face of boxing and one of its most complete champions. From Hackett's perspective, that difference makes Crawford's achievement even more impressive, since it came against a prime version of Canelo rather than the younger and less experienced fighter who once fell short against Mayweather.
What I think is, when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is somewhere in tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying, I do give Bud his credit though for beating Canelo, and Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So that's why I'm saying it's tough to say that.
Joe Rogan was blown away by Terence Crawford's triumph over Canelo Álvarez. He emphasized how extraordinary it was for Crawford, at 37 years old, to jump up 2 full weight divisions and still dominate, something almost unheard of in boxing history. Rogan pointed out that fighters at that stage of their careers rarely even attempt such a challenge, let alone succeed against a world-class opponent like Canelo. In his eyes, this wasn't just another victory. It was a defining moment that showcased Crawford's greatness and cemented his legacy as one of the most exceptional athletes the sport has ever seen.
It's like you're watching, like, wow, towards the end, towards the final rounds, really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like, that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest,
undisputed greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're something, you're an anomaly.
Yeah, something special. And
something really
one, 30,
special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah, one of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you. You know, I can barely go bowling.
Paulie Malignaggi shared his thoughts on the never-ending debate over who stands as the greater fighter, Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford. He explained that conversations like this can't really be settled, since both boxers dominated in different eras under unique circumstances. According to Malignaggi, that's what makes the discussion so intriguing for fans and experts, even if it has no clear resolution. He acknowledged Mayweather's unmatched, undefeated career, while also praising Crawford's success in multiple weight classes and his wins over top-level competition. For Malignaggi, the beauty of the debate lies in the conversation itself. It keeps the sport exciting, regardless of whether anyone ever reaches a final verdict.
154 pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 4 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even smell, may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54.
Timothy Bradley shared a strong take, saying he believes Terence Crawford has the right mix of qualities to overcome even Floyd Mayweather. In Bradley's view, Crawford combines ring IQ, adaptability, power, and technical skill in a way that could neutralize Mayweather's defensive mastery. He pointed out that Crawford's ability to make adjustments on the fly and his precise timing would pose major problems for Floyd, regardless of era. Bradley's comments reflected the high regard he holds for Crawford, placing him among boxing's all-time greats. To Bradley, Crawford isn't just talented, he has the full package to challenge, and possibly surpass fighters once thought to be unbeatable.
Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaw. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand, the way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too, man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too, and he got a 75-inch reach. Great counter puncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep, I noticed. Floyd Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him.
Some voices in the boxing community believe that if Terence Crawford truly wants to surpass Floyd Mayweather's legacy, he needs to take on a massive challenge against Dimitri Bivol, known for his size, skill, and dominance at light heavyweight. Bivol would present a test unlike anything Crawford has faced before. Critics suggest that defeating a prime, naturally bigger, and technically brilliant fighter like Bivol would push Crawford's legacy beyond Mayweather's. A victory of that magnitude, they argue, would silence any remaining doubts and secure Crawford's place as one of the sport's ultimate historical figures, achieving milestones even Mayweather never reached.
See Bivol, Bud, next, since Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not existence of boxing? Like, Bivol is the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol on Floyd's resume?
Recent reports suggest that Terence Crawford has his sights set on making history by becoming a 6-division world champion, a feat achieved by only a select few in boxing's long history. Already celebrated for dominating multiple weight classes and taking down elite opponents, Crawford's drive to go even further highlights his relentless desire to challenge himself at the highest level. The possibility of him moving up to middleweight has generated huge buzz, as it would place him in the 160-pound division against naturally bigger and stronger competition.
And Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6-division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed there.
Adding even more intrigue to the conversation, Janibek Alimkhanuly has issued a direct challenge to Terence Crawford, daring him to step up and meet him at middleweight. Janibek, an undefeated champion with a rapidly rising reputation, views this as a chance to secure the biggest fight of his career against one of boxing's modern greats. For Crawford, taking on such a challenge would not only be about chasing history, but also about proving his dominance in yet another division. Whether the fight actually happens or not, the possibility alone has sparked heated debate among fans and analysts, making Crawford's next move one of the most closely followed storylines in the sport.
Faced at welterweight and became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160. That Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns, that's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO champion.
An analyst recently reflected on the story of Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez, the last fighter to ever defeat Terence Crawford back in his amateur days. He explained that beating Crawford today would demand an extraordinary level of preparation and skill, similar to how opponents once felt when facing Floyd Mayweather in his prime. According to the analyst, Crawford has developed into one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport, blending sharp defense with pinpoint offense. Much like Mayweather frustrated rivals for years, Crawford now carries that same aura of near invincibility.
Beat Terence Crawford. What did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You got to bang the body with Crawford. You got to stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. As I remember, that's exactly what I did. Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of like cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. You know, he cut his height down, and you know, I stayed in his chest. You know, and you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, you know, maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, you know, with Bud, I thought, you know, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah. And you know, Gamboa, you know, showed parts of that. You know, and Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you. Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching, and make sure you stay tuned for more boxing updates coming your way.